The Lord continued, this is Lord Vishnu, the functioning or the existence of the body is known as the state of living according to the people, and the abandonment of the body in order to get another body is known as death. You are free from these two notions, O Prahlada. To you, what is death and what is life? I was only using the popular notions to explain myself to you. In truth, you neither live nor die. Even though you are in the body, since you do not have the body, you are bodiless. You are the observer, which is immaterial intelligence. Just as though air exists in space, it is not attached to space, and hence it is free from spatial limitation. Yet, in a manner of speaking, you are the body, since you experience sensations through the body, even as, in a manner of speaking, space is responsible for the growth of a plant, inasmuch as space does not arrest such growth. We're really concerned with self-enquiry, and this entails realizing that all the ideas we've got about ourselves and the world are simply that, ideas, notions. They have no intrinsic reality. They're ideas that we've constructed about the world. And one of these ideas is of having a body. And although the Yoga Vasishtha takes us beyond this notion, there is still this yogic tradition which entails mastery of the senses and of the body, in which the body is a very real phenomenon, is taken as very real. And there's also a doctrinal issue, a technical issue perhaps, between whether you can be liberated while living. Perhaps true liberation only comes once you've left the body behind. It's not an issue we need to be concerned with, because again it's ascribing too much reality to the body, which is only a notion. But these are concerns which are filtering into the Yoga Vasishtha here. Concerns which assume the reality of the body, even though there is this realization that it is no more than a notion, a manner of speaking. So it says, even though you are in the body, since you do not have the body, you are bodiless. So here we've got the realization that there is no body. There's no body, it's only a notion. Because you are the awareness, you are the observer, which is immaterial intelligence. It's not attached to anything, just as air is not attached to space. Yet in a manner of speaking, so it's just a manner of speaking, you are the body. And in a manner of speaking we associate certain sensations with the body. And just as space allows things to grow, body allows us to experience certain things. So this is a manner of speaking. What I would say is what's happening is there are certain sensations going on, and we categorize certain sensations as belonging to the body or as happening through the body. That's the cognitive process at work. There are only sensations, there are only feelings. When you start asking questions about these feelings, then you have to start forming cognitive categories like the body, like objects, and say this is the result of the body coming into contact with objects and so on. But there are only sensations, there's only experiencing going on. How these experiences happen, what's behind them, are not really the concern of self-enquiry. That's the concern of the cognitive process, which is going in the opposite way of self-enquiry. You are enlightened. What is a body or embodiment to you? It is only in the eyes of the ignorant that even your form exists. At all times you are the all. You are the supreme inner light of consciousness. What is body or bodilessness to you? And what can you hold or abandon? So the Yoga Vasishtha is challenging this preoccupation with the body which exists in traditional yoga and within certain doctrinal ideas about liberation and having a body. These are not issues which need concern us, because they're all to do with notions, and we're going beyond notions. Whether it is springtime or the day of cosmic dissolution, they are nothing to one who has transcended the notions of being and non-being. And we can also say notions of having a body or of not having a body. For in all conditions he is firmly established in self-knowledge. Whether all the beings in the universe live or perish, or they prosper, he remains firmly established in self-knowledge. The Supreme Lord dwells in the body, undying when the body dies, and unchanging when the body changes. Well, the Supreme Lord dwells everywhere. But in a manner of speaking, we can think of accessing the Supreme Lord through the body, through these sensations which we ascribe to the body. When you have given up the false notions, I belong to the body, or the body belongs to me, then there is no meaning in expressions like, I shall give it up, or I shall not give it up. I have done this, and I shall do this now. Enlightened men, though they be constantly engaged in activity, do nothing. It is not by means of inaction that they reach the state of non-action. The very fact of non-action frees you from experiences, for there is no harvest where there is no sowing. When thus both the notions of I do and I experience have ceased, there remains only peace. When that peace is firmly grounded, there is liberation. It becomes like the process of breathing. I say I'm breathing. You're breathing. But you're not actually doing anything, are you? Breathing is happening. It's in the same way that the enlightened person undertakes any action, in the same way that breathing happens. Breathing is not a volitional activity. It's something that's going on, just like digestion of food is going on. I might say I'm having a problem digesting my food. I'm not doing anything. The food is being digested. There's not a process that I'm a party to. And it's in the same way that the enlightened person gets on with everything in the world, gets on with interacting with the world, just in the same way that breathing happens, the digestion of food happens, excretion happens, all the rest of it. To such an enlightened person, what is there to acquire or to renounce? For it is only when the notions of subject and object have ceased that there is liberation. Such enlightened persons, as you are, live in this world as if they are forever in a state of deep sleep. It doesn't mean they're walking around like a zombie or a sleepwalker. It just means that they're imperturbable. Likewise, O Prahlada, perceive this world as if you're half asleep. Enlightened beings do not exult in pleasure nor grieve in pain. So they're still subject to pleasure and pain. They just don't exult or grieve in them. They function non-volitionally, even as a crystal reflects the objects placed near it without intending to do so. They are fully awake in self-knowledge, but they are asleep, as it were, in relation to the world. They function in this world like children, without ego sense and all the rest of its retinue. O Prahlad, you have reached the plane of Vishnu. Rule the netherworld for a world cycle, which is equal to a day in the life of the Creator Brahma.